Do you ever get too excited? I know I do. This summer has been packed with so many good movies and fun adventures for me that it's been a bit overwhelming. All good things, and yet I still have this anxious feeling that creeps in. Call it a low social battery, call it anxiety, whatever it is, it can be very frustrating to deal with, especially when it seems like everything is going well. But thankfully, I have today's sponsor, BetterHelp, to guide me through these moments and get myself back on track. Through BetterHelp, I've learned great tools to help me in these moments. Thought exercises and breath work to recenter myself and get beyond the anxiety. If you aren't familiar, BetterHelp makes starting therapy easier. It's super simple. Sign up, take a short quiz, and get matched with a licensed therapist. Easy peasy. And if your matched therapist isn't quite the right fit for you, you can switch easily at no additional cost. Life is busy, and I appreciate being able to communicate with a therapist in different ways. With BetterHelp, you can call, text, or video message your therapist. Whatever works for you. This is great for me when I'm having those anxious feelings. I can reach out and chat about it without having to wait weeks on end. Over 6 million people have gotten help through BetterHelp. Why not give it a shot? Click the link in the description or go to betterhelp.com/cinemasins to get 10% off your first month of therapy.
DC. Also, Discovery. Sin is accurate as of 2026, and CinemaSins will not be held responsible for any inaccuracies resulting from mergers or buyouts that may or may not, or might not happen anytime between now and the future. Dare I say that the true villain of the movie might be opening with this superficially badass faux punk needle drop that even Clark Kent would acknowledge as pretty darn pandering.
Those are pop radio bands, they're not punk rock.
Also, quirky sci-fi character uses an old-timey record player as foreshadowing that they're much cooler than I'll ever be and 100% wants me to know about it. This shot proves that Kara and Krypto don't need no Superman, but will for some reason still carry an expositional copy of a newspaper on board their ship to keep tabs on him. Unnecessarily recasting a popular and familiar narrator, character, with a non-American after 10 years of Melissa Benoist, doing a perfectly fantastic job the whole time. Between this and Superman, Krypto is rapidly becoming the ZCU's Hugh Jackman. By that, I mean the adorable being that's 90% CG who they parade around every time the desire to bank some audience goodwill arises. I'm not sure I ever would have worked out that Kara was living the slobby life of a couldn't-care-less college student if her ship hadn't been explicitly decorated in IKEA's latest line of Karen Lessig colleague slorben. Kara has the "f you, I won't do what you tell me" party vibe nailed, but since I know this is the start of her journey of growth, I'm guessing I'm not supposed to approve of this, an assumption I do not approve of.
Oh, I need a yellow sunlight now.
Saying this out loud is like me saying, oh, I need water right now, just in case there's a chance I'm being watched by a room full of people who don't know humans need water. Forcing a dog to share your mouth germs.
Brigands, they've come for my swords. I guess it was only a matter of time.
The director's note for this line delivery being expositionally. Also, if it was only a matter of time, why haven't you prepared for it? Like, I don't know, Home Alone this shit with some of those fancy swords you've made.
We give them what they want, and then they'll leave.
If there's one thing this line tells us about the people on this planet, it's that they do not watch movies. This is some kind of voice box modulator tech thing, but it's weird that we never find out if it's a case of space translation, space cancer, or to hide the fact that he actually sounds like a minion. Also, the bold choice that is naming your big bad BDSM Barry. I have no evidence that this is his name, other than his entire face and aesthetic leaving no other logical options.
Is that a pie?
The whole eating your victim's food in their own home thing is meant to be intimidating, but all it does is remind me of Christoph Waltz mastering the form with Strudel, and how every other movie should just replay that scene instead of trying to recreate it.
My life's work, all in the shed out back.
Your entire life's work? Why is he just storing his entire life's work in a shed instead of selling them? Or revolutioning some shit? How is he making a living? Is his shed just a fancy, well-made blade museum?
You have what you want, now leave.
Being this presumptuous about the quality of your pie. DC deciding that it's just not fair Disney gets to kill as many families as it wants, and that it's about time this game had some competition. No. Wait, they did Home Alone some shit? What's with the delay? Why not blow them up as soon as they landed? You didn't see Kevin McAllister wait until after his house was robbed to do an attempted murder. That kid shit up pronto and he was rewarded with a still alive family. Cool to see that Disco survived the 1970s only to die a cruel death in a discount Mos Eisley cantina in the 2020s.
Not gonna happen.
That's racist. Question, does this drunk young'un cliche even relate to the young'uns of today? I mean, my generation would have related the heck out of this, but Gen Z is shifting pretty hard away from booze and into whatever young people are into right now? Pokemon cards? Is it still Pokemon cards? When are Pogs coming back? Anyway, Kara's introduction feels 20 years out of date, and the young'uns of today deserve something that actually speaks to them. Like Pogs.
Brigand who has trespassed onto our planet and murdered my innocent and honourable family in cold blood.
And how come you sound like you're from the north?
Lots of planets have a north.
Of all the bars on this planet, nay, this entire galaxy, the closest one to revenge-seeking Ruthie just so happens to contain one of the most powerful beings in the universe. Sure, her family's dead, but karma ain't no slouch.
Krem's ship was destroyed, and I believe he's still searching for a passage off our planet.
Ruthie not realising how impatient audiences get when they're being expositioned out so forcefully. Her first step should have been to bribe whichever news station plays in the bar. That way they can get caught up in a completely organic way that I would have also hated.
I don't have my powers here.
She said to the audience.
Not my monkeys, not my circus.
But of course, she will very quickly find a way to make these not monkeys and not circus very much her monkeys and circus.
I offer you my family sword, made by the hands of my father, Elias Snow.
This name will catch everyone's attention, leading to a prompt stealing of this highly valuable sword, making this a very stupid move on her part. Yes, I know kids do dumb things, but that doesn't mean I have to enjoy watching them.
It's not a problem. Oh, that might be a problem.
Why does the arrival of the big alien suddenly make this her problem? Is it just a particular species she doesn't like? Or is Kara fine with 13-year-olds being attacked by bullies as long as she doesn't have to watch?
You don't steal from a little kid who just lost her parents.
But that makes her the perfect person to steal from. She isn't going to put up a fight, and what's she going to do? Not call her parents, that's what.
Look, I'm bleeding.
Since we know she can bleed, I'd love to also know how this spiky mace staff thing swiped out her leg in a way that didn't also cut the shit out of it at the same time. Kara said she doesn't have her powers, so why isn't she feeling being thrown around like this? Does the sun subdue her abilities just enough to make the fight interesting but not lethal? Well, we got the non-lethal part nailed. Can someone remind the sun about the interesting part?
You brained him.
Also, are the spikes on that seriously just decorative? Because she should be picking that thing out of his head after burying it 6 inches into his alien brain folds in this PG-13 movie.
Oh.
I get potentially not feeling this because of the booze or being a Kryptonian or whatever, but she was wearing full-length jeans at the bar, meaning she was either wearing these denim shorts under the denim jeans, which is f***ing madness, or during her drunken bedtime routine, got out of her long jeans, put the short jeans on, all while navigating a barb she never realised was there. She wasn't that drunk. I don't even think that amount of drunk even exists.
Still celebrating, huh?
Yeah? What do you want?
Whoever thought this conversation would be enhanced by a casual mouthful of toothpaste instead of having her eat an apple.
You might never find your people.
That's the thing, Clark. I have no people.
Making it seem like you have a monopoly on being the last orphan of a dead world to the one person who actually shares that trauma cape.
Kara, I'm just worried that if you keep going off planet like this, you're never gonna find your stride here.
You're not my dad?
And I come here to seek revenge.
Yeah, some guy named Cream, yeah. You already hit me with this pitch.
No, she hit the bar with the pitch, and you were drunk enough to not notice a spiked barb in your thigh. I think she's justified in thinking you might need a previously on Supergirl. Ruthie focusing on this brightly coloured Halloween costume as if it's something she recognises from her favourite comic. Trying to distract me from your subpar script with backdrops advertising the majestic beauty of on-location shooting in Scotland.
If you think I'm gonna lead you on the mountains through some sort of revenge plot, turning you into a psychotic child murderer.
Kara lays out exactly what the movie knows is going to happen. Except for which of these 2 children becomes the murderer, of course. Krem the Brigand was actually going to be played by Brad Pitt, until the casting director realised it would be much cheaper and technically possible to just ask any old actor to eat food during 90% of their scenes. Listen, John Wick wasn't the first, but it sure did master the recipe. Any subsequent emotional dogsploitation is officially just a watered-down version of that, especially when you, me, and everyone else knows they have no intent of actually killing the dog, which, for the record, is the goodest boy and I would not want to see him killed in any case. Sudden disclosure day!
She says it paralyzes the host slowly, and I'm sorry, but painfully.
Well, now I have no choice but to spend the rest of the movie thinking about Crypto laying here in pain. Fun! Thanks for that.
What can I do?
Have you thought about taking him to a yellow sun? Seems like the obvious first step for Crypto, the superpowered dog who can breathe in space and whose powers come from a yellow sun.
Moving him would risk accelerating the effects of the toxin.
Okay, fine. Moving him to a yellow sun might not be easy. But the obvious answer is clearly to pull the adventures of Lois and Clark, freeze Krypto, slow down his metabolism, and then take him to the sun to heal. Also Dean Cain.
The brigands carry the antidote on that person.
Of course they do.
They use it as an interrogation tactic, dangling relief in exchange for money, information, whatever they're after.
Yet at no point will we see Krem attempt to use the antidote to acquire any of these things from Kara or anyone else.
How long does he have?
3 moon razors.
Well, that's very movie needs a ticking clock venient.
I'm gonna go now.
Sidelining the first character in the DCU that I felt any investment in.
Vico, fresh.
He basically said, welcome aboard, please watch your step.
Seth Rogen is here playing a weird little guy that is so recognizably Seth Rogen that it feels weird that it isn't just Seth Rogen. Kudos to the filmmakers for using one of the coolest locations from the comic and populating it with one of the most diverse collections of aliens we've seen on screen. Unfortunately, it just makes the way the rest of the graphic novel is ignored stand out even more. Or so screams some nerd I bumped into on the internet. Dude, I was literally on Reddit posting for bolognese recipes.
Maybe give us all a break from that hookah thingy.
Assuming it's a hookah instead of a breathing apparatus that allows him to exist on a space bus that might have to accommodate for more than just mouth breathers, Kara.
I was just trying to get through to my seat.
Kara not realizing that Ruthie has followed her onto this bus means that she somehow managed to rush to another bus stop before it left the planet. How many stops does this bus make in the same neighborhood?
I'm searching for Krem myself.
I think I was pretty clear when I said no to that plan.
The whole protag wants to work alone but has a sidekick that won't get the hint and refuses to stay behind bit is now, as of 2026, done. It was also done as of 2016, 2006, and 1996.
Who are they? What do they want?
They're tech pirates and they want to contribute to the movie's pacing by introducing some quasi-punk action during a first act slump, silly. Kara swipes the tech pirates' teleporter gadget, a crucial piece of their technology that you'd think would be glued to their belt or at least on one of those nifty expander cords. Fight scenes will often be cut 1,000 times to hide flaws, but literally blipping your characters in and out of existence between punches and kicks feels like DC taking this idea to a natural and highly irritating conclusion that no one asked for.
Okay, this is unpleasant.
Not as unpleasant as it could have been for either party, considering you clearly have no idea where this thing is going to have you pop up, or in.
How close are we to a yellow sun?
Very close. Unbelievably close, in fact. Like very, very unbelievably close given how big space is. Also, if Kryptonians are able to fly through our solar system, even behind planets, or maintain their superpowers after dark on Earth, Kara is more than close enough to this yellow sun to immediately have her powers too. Also, gaining powers from a yellow sun is very different from literally dying in the freezing cold of space and then being resurrected. And if that was never a concern, why the spacesuit shenanigans, Supergirl? Why did laser beams become the epitome of superhero badassery, and why do I want to blame James Masters?
You're coming with me to find Krem. Congratulations, you wore me down.
After spending 30 minutes protesting and insisting that she wants to work alone, the script gets bored with that idea and abandons it with little more than a, and that's all I have to say about that. Side note, this narrator just discovered he will not be making a habit of doing a Forrest Gump accent. Probably. Being surprised that a bunch of turds you just watched an alien slug poop out taste like turds.
Oh, it's okay, don't worry. I'll do the other side to even it out.
Since the VFX and script refuse to assist anyone, let me help. She's trimming the pirate's hair with her eye lasers, because there's nothing more threatening than a hack haircut.
Tell me where to find Krem.
Assuming that in the vastness of the universe, all space pirates know each other. Oh, and the universe rewarding that premise.
The atomic wars brought destruction. Half the population is gone, and the remaining resources have drawn filth.
More exposition than I expected.
They scavenge for people. Girls to help them continue their all-male race.
I'd like to know which focus group decided that the second movie entry of the DCU needed an intergalactic sex trafficking ring. I'd then like to ask them what kind of movies they saw too early in their formative years. Also, adding sex trafficking to puppy poisoning like I'm being manipulated into hating someone more than is necessary for my superhero outing. Guys, it's okay. The stealing pie thing probably would have covered it.
Good. Now you won't die.
From the cold embrace of space. Kara's going to feel pretty dumb if Ruthie confidently walks into gunfire and knife blades that this Michelin star suit is ill-equipped to protect her from. The Go-Go body bubble collar apparently also has magic teleportation to Ruthie's hip between edits properties.
They call him Superman.
And you are Superwoman?
I'm Supergirl.
Roll, hanging a lantern on the one thing you know is sexist but ultimately refuse to do anything about it.
Are you considerably younger than he is?
It's like 10 years, give or take.
Alert! Comics canon breach! In the comics, Kara is actually older, but aged more slowly due to spending more time in stasis on her trip to Earth. But also the comics don't matter. Calm down, everyone. Take this in and call me when the next Doomsday trailer is released. I get the many ways this movie is telling us that this is a sexist universe, but a couple of women walking into this bar shouldn't be the record scratch moment it's presented as, given that there are not only women working here, but we just met an all-female crew of pirates who's likely been here as well. The movie goes to the trouble of inventing an array of alien creatures, but can't imagine them singing anything but Earth songs. Also, in a movie that already openly stole a Star Wars character design, this should be a big Mos Eisley Cantina moment. Sadly, it's not even a B. Arthur in the Star Wars Holiday Special moment.
You win and you can have us both. I win and you can tell us where the brigands are.
All of this would have been a lot easier if she had some sort of Find My Space Ride app. And I'm not buying that some obnoxious tech douche hasn't capitalized on that shit in this spacefaring dystopia. The gods are not that kind.
You ready?
Was this guy friends with everyone in here? Was it his birthday party? Why does every single one of them seem to have taken this loss personally?
Anybody want to leave?
DC trying to slip in a discount, anybody want to get off, and shitting the bed entirely. I, for one, do not want to do this all day.
Keep playing. You know, it's like the Titanic.
Assuming everyone in the galaxy will get your Titanic reference. And the fact that there's a very good chance this is true, and someone in this very bar is having an obnoxious conversation about that f***ing door, thinking this counts as laying low during an all-out gunfight in an enclosed space. Whoever thought that catching glimpses of this fight in our peripheral vision and occasional reflections would be less annoying than the blinking in and out of existence fight from the bus. I'm not surprised Kara can take multiple blasts from space guns. I am, however, slightly surprised that her clothing can withstand it. If it's special clothing that's immune to damage, her first stop with Ruthie should have been to her f***ing tailor, not the gas station with the off-the-rack bubble suit.
Oh, you don't have to.
No. It's good.
Is it though? She just f***ed up your bar and scared off every last one of your paying customers.
Oh, I didn't know that you spoke the common tongue.
Just a reminder that by the numbers, English isn't even the common tongue on Earth. So how in the multilingual f*** did it become the galactic standard, especially when humans aren't even out here culturally polluting shit yet? The editors seem determined to convince me that Jason Momoa and Millie Alcock were not in the same room for any of these scenes.
It's Lobo.
DC thinking that this will finally make up for the Lobo FOMO precisely 3% of the internet has been feeling. I'm sure his presence will feel organic and narratively satisfying, and not just a tacked-on cameo to make up for shitting the proverbial bed with Aquaman.
He's an immortal with a god complex. Killed off his entire planet.
What an oddly expositional way to tell us there's a much better movie on the cards that we're clearly never going to see. Jason Momoa personifying that meme of the guy looking over his shoulder at another woman. Except he's managing to embody all three roles.
I'm looking for a brigand.
Lobo probably should have asked this before 95% of the patrons were humbled and evacuated.
He's so rude.
The person you were just told killed his entire planet? That's like looking out at an ocean and calling it somewhat damp.
We're just a couple of girls from Metropolis, USA. We're doing a fun little tour.
Kara decides to go full, oh my god, Valley Girl to defuse the situation. It works. I do not know why.
Clark? No, he's a freaking nerd.
PG-13 diss tracks.
It's not his age that makes him young, it's his heart.
Kids, stop drinking so much and your heart can be younger too.
There are just some things you never had to go through.
While my trauma beats your trauma competitions are super fun and not at all depressing, I'm not buying Kara's POV here. Okay, Clark didn't have to witness it firsthand, but he still lost his entire planet, Kara. At least you got to have a decade or so with your family. He got 9 months in a womb. Also, she's talking about the man who just discovered his parents were angling for him to conquer planet Earth. And don't get me started on that awful Twister's re-seek boot. I'm just saying, he's carrying plenty of baggage too, Kara.
From another planet, Krypton.
I thought everyone died the day the core erupted.
Ruthie is remarkably well educated about the history of the galaxy as a country girl from what seems to have been a backwater planet.
No, Krypton didn't die in a day. The gods are not that kind.
Wishing for less time with your family and fellow Kryptonians.
My father and his brother, Jor-El, tried to warn the council.
The plot to this movie is so comically thin that it will spend a quarter of its runtime retconning the opening scene of Man of Steel.
My father and his brother, Jor-El, tried to warn the council of what was coming, but no one listened.
One of the biggest issues with Superman lore is no one listening to the proven scientific fact that Krypton was doomed. And yes, I know us Earthlings are capable of massive self-delusion when it comes to the environment. But there's a difference in not believing in man-made global warming and ignoring the very core of your planet saying, F you, peace out. Yikes. Gerrymandering on Krypton is a bastitch. In this version of the story, Kara hasn't even been born until a decade after the destruction of Krypton, making her unavailable to send to another planet at that time. So what exactly was Jor-El's advice to his brother?
Good luck, almost by definition, runs out.
That is precisely by definition, not how luck works. Just a reminder that Krypton was destroyed because of mining and exhausting the planet's resources, an abuse that apparently never uncovered an ounce of kryptonite. I mean, it doesn't even look like the shield scoop thing dug that deep. Also, why did it take 10 years for this mineral to affect the people living on top of it and eating it in their food, when kryptonite any other way affects Superman and Supergirl instantly? Convenient thing to find conveniently lying around your lab, conveniently in the jettisoned part of the city, given you scoffed at your brother's plans to use them until this moment. And were not seen carrying any paperwork into the Argo City boarding zone. Skip! I'm not sure how that's possible in the long term, even if she and Clark decided to adopt some Targaryen tendencies from an altogether different iteration of Millie Alcott. Also, why can't he just build a few more of these pods for anyone else who might have survived? I'm not buying that there was just the perfect amount of resources and time for one pod and one pod alone. Movie parents always downplay themselves. They so often seem to think that the decades of slow burn wisdom they could impart can be replaced by last minute Mufasa branded platitudes. Kara and Krypto are awake for this journey? How long does it take? Holy shit, was Krypto brought along as food?
I'm not talking out of my ass, Ruthie.
Kara has a remarkable grasp of the accentless American vernacular for an adult immigrant we keep being told avoid spending too much time on Earth. Yes, I know this is not Millie Alcock's real accent, but that only emphasizes that she could have picked up whatever accent she wanted. Why not British, as a random and unbiased example?
When did you stop feeling angry?
That's my secret, Cat. I'm always angry. A little bitter.
Between the shady conversation she witnessed, the bitter tea that is clearly a sign of poison, and the super suspicious picture of the daughter on the wall that's clearly missing, did Kara want to get caught? Was this the type of spice her birthday week bender needed?
What kind of milk is that?
Chukan.
Being picky about the source of your poison cures.
One girl for 2 girls.
2 girls and a huge bill to replace that external wall, apparently. Kind of creme to wear the exact antidote Kara is looking for, dangling out in the open on a convenient tearaway necklace. Cool idea to have Supergirl headbutt Krem so hard she pulls out some of his piercings. But then I want to see the blood holes in his face where they used to be. Continuity sins don't give a damn about your PG-13 rating, Supergirl.
You dropped your puppy's antidote.
Honestly, I think she might be over it. I'm not sure why else she wouldn't have eye lasered your chest, super sped the antidote from your crispy husk, and then rescued Rufy.
Are you drunk?
Being picky about the source of your rescue flights. Yay, the girls have escaped! Let's just ignore that it makes no sense that this otherwise intact transport cell would just pop right open for them. Or that they survived the fall. Why can't you love things that make no sense?
Don't move.
Expecting this to work when it has yet to work one single time. This smooth-faced, low-res CG demon that momentarily replaces Supergirl.
Aren't you the ditz from that bad bar?
That's what I've been calling you.
Touché.
Banter! We're watching a lot of brigands get pummeled, but the most interesting thing about Kara and Lobo's superpowers is that they seem to be limited by the rays of a PG-13 sun. The up to this point damsel in distress repeat offender follows the brigand who killed her family down a dark back alleyway without telling Kara first. Solid plan! If her plan is to stop being in this movie, which I would respect.
Gotcha, bastards!
DC vainly hoping that Gen Zers and young millennials would care enough about this line from the comics to inspire TikTokers everywhere. That's right, Bastitch incoming.
She's the last one. Go!
She is not. And Kara wouldn't know if she was anyway. The brigands don't strike me as the types to keep a sex trafficking manifest on hand. The parents who had their child kidnapped, and said child, are all brutally killed in a dark alleyway by the sex trafficker. This movie's a blast. Fun for all the family, truly. Kara is sad because Krem has bounced out of there through a dimensional portal thing, taking the antidote with him. But why does she have to search for him specifically? If the brigands use this as an interrogation tactic, won't any big bad brigand do? No. Yes, I googled how long does it take a single teardrop to freeze in space. The answer was far more sciencey than I expected. Suffice to say, it ain't this. Well, now you've pissed me off, Angry Walk, cliche.
Hey! Squidward!
I'm going to bet several of my pogs that this joke came first and the creature design followed. A photograph is a flat surface of even particles, meaning its details can't be seen by X-ray. But thanks for the X-ray superpower reminder. Comic accurate or not, I'm calling bullshit on the existence of a green sun. Until Andy Weir tells me otherwise and makes my new favourite movie on the subject. Also, between the red suns, green suns, and poison, why is 85% of this movie about taking Kara's powers away from her? I would have respected this movie more if it was simply called Girl at this point. Zor-El was a genius among his people, so why didn't he see this language barrier coming?
Big city, lots of stuff to do. Bowling.
Of all the things to do in Metropolis, Clark names one we've never seen him do, that most people never want to do, and that Kryptonian super strength would make more destructive than fun. Although, Big Lebowski Superman crossover? Hopeful question mark?
You'll also learn to love this place, just like I have.
Citation needed.
Saw you boarding that man's ship, so I snuck him into the cargo hold.
The unlocked, unmonitored cargo hold that she snuck into unnoticed and also snuck out of unnoticed before they flew away, uncertain if this was even the final destination for Kara or just a stop along the way. No wonder the Brigands didn't see this hiccup coming, it's f***ing ludicrous.
The Brigands know that the planet orbits between two suns, and that the green sun can kill me.
Meaning they should also know to get their shit done before the other sun rises. Or, better yet, space yeet her ass directly into said green sun. I hear suns find it a lot harder to set in space.
Creme left your ship on Bilky.
For reasons vague, unknowable, and unprofitable.
And I found this.
When in the sweet fancy did she have time to skitter away, find Kara's ship, and get there to swipe her outfit? More importantly, why?
Thought that might help.
How? She doesn't know what this outfit means. It could be her bass-stitching gym gear for all Ruthie knows, and if she did know it was her supersuit, it doesn't matter because it doesn't even give her powers. I mean, Kara has given it no thought at all. Not a single, "Where's my supersuit?" for Ruthie to give a damn about it and risk her life to snag it.
Kara, don't freak out.
Did any other comics readers expect this moment to be the big reveal where Ruthie tells her she mistranslated the healer and Krypto isn't actually dying, but Ruthie lied to get Kara to help her in a twisted mirror version of this same trick that Kara pulls on her in the source material? Just this nerd? Fine. Back to Reddit with me.
I'm so sorry for saying I didn't want to be like you.
Super skip.
You're not always nice, but you're kind. And you're not always perfect, but you're good.
This is so on the nose compared to what her mother said on her deathbed that Kara should seriously be contemplating that the reincarnationists on Krypton might have been onto something. Ruthie does not fight dinosaurs in this scene. Mis-genre jump scares.
Thank you.
What's Ruthie's goal here? And why is Lobo throwing a rat at her to turn off the bodysuit she should have been able to turn off on her own? The answer.
I'm after the revenge.
Yeah, overrated.
And yet, this movie.
You know, green sun and Kryptonian is not good combination.
No, please tell us that plot point one more time, Krem. For all the people on their phones watching this on Netflix. And please don't ask me to elaborate on the inevitable turn of events that leads to this Warner Brothers property finding a home on Netflix.
You tell me where we can find your friend, and I will let you live.
I mean, she's basically where the ship landed, right? He arranged this whole thing, so he knows they landed as the green sun was coming up, meaning Kara would be out of action almost immediately. And it's only so far young Ruthie here is going to be able to drag her ass.
This one dies before the end of the day.
Procrastinators. The green sun may weaken Kara, but it apparently gives Ruthie fighting skills we've seen zero evidence of up to this point.
I know Kung Fu.
The guard who came in because of Ruthie's plea to see Krem apparently can't hear any of this struggle.
I'm very proud of you. Told you my plan would work.
Aiming for Lobo, but landing somewhere between Beetlejuice and... Also, have I mentioned the god-awful bodysuit yet? Just take a second and ask yourself what the hell these crawlways were actually meant for. Sure as isn't air conditioning, and they definitely shouldn't have been installed as an assist for escaping children. The Brigands seem to believe these unarmed women need more guarding than Lobo and the companion of Supergirl. Well, isn't that mighty serendipitous? Ruthie must have studied a lot of physics and or math to understand where to place Kara in this cave so that the green sun wouldn't hit her, but the eventual yellow sunlight would.
That's just so everyone knows we're good.
Which is a particularly dark reminder that you were sent here to be good at taking over the world. Looking at this lever and thinking, yep, I know precisely what that does, and I am certain it will help my cause. It's Krem's lucky day! Ruthie's just going to stand there for him to more easily lasso her. Thrice.
Do it. You better make it quick.
Deus ex Kara-ina? Gather round as we see the rarely observed ceremony of waiting until the last 15 fucking minutes to don your superhero costume. Marvelous. Sorry, deceivulous. Kara gets an unusual number of spikes to the thigh in this movie, which feel like excuses for close-ups of Millie Alcock's thighs, which is the weirdest way to compete with Quentin Tarantino. Between the green sun and the kryptonite arrows, Krem knows an impressive amount of Supergirl lore, given he didn't seem to even be aware of her at the start of the movie. Aiming for intimidating villain, but landing somewhere between Cowboy Biff Tannen and
I made it especially for you. It's present. It's Kryptonite Delight.
Okay, but why not Kryptonite Machine Gun? Or Kryptonite Bomb? Or 20 Kryptonite Arrows instead of 5? If you really want to win, Boromir this bastard.
Your eyes are beautiful when you cry.
I'm starting to think Krem is in the female trafficking game for the misogyny more than the financial and or reproductive benefits. My headcanon is that this isn't convenient timing, but Lobo was just waiting in the shadows for the moment that would deliver the most dramatic effect. Drama demon.
See you, Dits.
This line was written by a female screenwriter to show that misogyny can also be fun in a subversive way. The words I'm saying right now were also written by a female writer to assure you that it cannot. It's hard to really give a shit about kryptonite when hangovers seem to have longer lasting effects. Survival via oopsies!
The brides, they're still in there.
Calling the captives by their slave title. Kara somehow didn't foresee that leaving Ruthie out in the wide open would lead to this. But in her defense, this sudden Mad Max Ruthie road is so derivative, she likely didn't think it plausible. Kara is very determined to not kill this man in front of Ruthie, but I don't know how she's familiar enough with his biology to know that he can survive this. Because 2 fists is faster? What, expecting a college girlfriend joke? Sorry, that's the other guy. My university girlfriend, on the other hand. We can't play it, but we've got a slowed down version of a classic song to punctuate. Sorry, I say classic song, but it's actually a cover of The Middle by Jimmy Eat World. This was apparently the 45th attempt to find a song that would fit, which is interesting because I have immediately come up with 44 better options since the start of this sin. This chap thinking he can succeed where everyone else failed, and thus defining the line between bravery and stupidity. Sisu called, he wants his ending back because he feels like he worked harder for it and deserves it more. That's not what I'm saying, but I'm also not arguing with anything called Sisu, especially after that terrible IKEA joke I made earlier.
Ruthie, you can't stop me.
She can.
Your life will be your revenge.
So the best and healthiest thing I can do is just ignore this movie and live the rest of my life pretending it never happened? Am I revenging correctly now? There is a none% chance that Jason Momoa was anywhere near the other two when this pickup was filmed. But the filmmakers realized it would be weird if he just disappeared without at least one proud demon dad nod. Honestly, it's weirder that he didn't. Because who says little girls need a role model to look up to? Superman's got them covered, right?
This is for what you did to that little girl.
I'm not going to lie, I kind of love, excuse the saying, the balls on this move. It separates Kara from Clark in a super fundamental way. It shows that, excuse the saying, she might not be the hero we deserve, but she's the one this franchise needs. The sin is her doing exactly what I wanted her to do, probably means it was the wrong thing to do. Guys, I don't know shit about movies. Somehow, in all this action, that antidote vial has not shattered. That vial must have been full of liquid yellow sun, because that's the fastest almost dead dog recovery this side of Witcher 3.
We've got to head out, but you're good, right?
You just dropped this newly orphaned and traumatized girl in the middle of a field, alone. Why wouldn't she be good?
I'm going to stay with my aunt, and I might start making swords like my dad.
Yes, because that worked out so well for him. Also, is she even old enough to have learned how he made the best swords in the land? I'm just saying, the better lesson here might be to stop the circle of violence instead of facilitating it with blades you don't even sell in favor of storing them in a shed for all eternity.
No, I think my pub crawl days are behind me.
Growth that I absolutely understand through Kara's journey from pub crawl to bar fight to poison dog to reluctantly helping Ruthie to saving abducted women to killing a sex trafficker. Her path to whatever comes next is as clear as crypto. Currency.
I'm really glad that I met you, Ruthie.
You know who isn't glad? That family back on Bilky.
Your aunt's not gonna freak out?
She won't freak out.
Why would she freak out? She just lost her brother or sister and their partner and a nephew. Why would she possibly freak out about her niece going on a bender with the last daughter of a dead planet? Does he just fly in through his window after crime fighting? This would have been a sketchy idea in the 70s, let alone in that everyone has a camera and gram days of the 2020s. The only way this makes sense is if this is just Superman's apartment and not Clark's. Like, this is the place Superman comes home to hang out. Which still seems dumb, actually. Feels like no one should know where Superman lives. Can't he just get changed in a phone box or something before going home?
He's in the chocolate. It's chocolate.
If I can seamlessly pair your final line of dialogue with the Seinfeld bass riff, you haven't ended your movie as hilariously as you think you have.
To alcohol, the cause of and solution to all of life's problems.